Hello everyone. Hope you're doing great. This is Motorsport Progression, and I'm back again with another video. So I just want to talk about the 2025 Bahrain Grand Prix and what happened in the Bahrain Grand Prix. So it was a pretty decent race. It was pretty decent race. There was a few overtakes. From a few drivers, and Oscar Piastri started on pole position in a McLaren, and he never looked really in doubt. He's on form right now. He's the quickest driver right now. And Lando Norris has a lot of work to do to keep up with Oscar. He has to be like near perfect. To keep up with Oscar, and Oscar's very confident in himself. So we gotta give him the credit there. Oscar's doing the job at the moment, and he's only 3 points behind Lando Norris in the World Championship after the Bahrain Grand Prix, and he started on pole position. He kept the lead, and he's extended his lead to about 6 seconds before the first pit stops, and then there was a safety car. He stopped again, and then he even opened up the gap to about 15 seconds. So he won the race by about 15 seconds. I mean, the consolation from Lando, he started in sixth position and he finished in third, and he also received a 5-second penalty for being a little bit ahead of his pit box. So that was the two McLarens there, and then George Russell finished in second. He had a few problems as well, technical problems, but he managed to iron them out. And other standout performances was from Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton. They did okay. They did very good. Hamilton had a few overtakes in the what's his name, Ferrari. From he started about, I think, from ninth and he finished fifth, and that was a good race. Still the race was quite decent, and it wasn't the greatest of them all, but it was quite decent. And then the next race is the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix in Jeddah at the Jeddah Corniche circuit this weekend. So that's gonna be the end of the triple header, and if Oscar wins this weekend, he's gonna take the lead of the World Championship. So he will be looking to take the lead of the World Championship for the 2 weeks break, and then Lando will be looking to take the victory as well. But don't underestimate Lando. If he does his homework here, he's just as quick, or if not quicker than Oscar. But at the moment, Oscar is quicker than him. So we just have to give him the credit there. And yeah, man, I just want to say to everyone, thank you for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well, and you can hit the notification bell. It helps with the algorithm. Then you can like the video. It really helps. And then you can drop your comments below. If you can, let me know what your thoughts are on the Bahrain Grand Prix 2025, and also you can share the video on your various social media platforms. If you got any questions to ask me about Formula One, feel free to ask me, and I'll get back to you. So yeah, peeps, I just want to say thank you to everyone that's supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. The channel is growing, step by step, and we just have to be happy. And yeah, man, I really appreciate it. And this season it's been a good season already. From the Australian Grand Prix where Lando won. Then you got the Chinese Grand Prix where Oscar Piastri won. Then you got the Japanese Grand Prix where Max Verstappen won. And then you had the Bahrain Grand Prix where Oscar won. So Oscar has 2 wins, Max has 1 win, and Lando has 1 win. And at the moment, Oscar's looking the quickest. So the other drivers, they got a lot of work to do to catch up to him. But it's yeah, it's gonna be exciting, going towards the middle of the season and then towards the end. But Oscar looks like he's got a real chance of winning a world championship at the moment, at the moment. So Lando has a lot of work to do, he's got to cut out the mistakes, and he has to, get on a simulator and do a lot of simulations, and like things like starting from the back of the grid and stuff like that. And with overtakes and stuff like that, and then playing with alternate strategies, that would help Lando a lot. But Lando's a very quick driver, but at the moment, Oscar, is just a step ahead of him. So yeah, peeps, I'm gonna wrap it up here and then on to the next one. Thank you.